Hi, I'm Alanna Mizell,
And I'm her better half, Steven Mizell. And this is the Mizell Show,
where we take our regular life moments, transforming them into motivation.
helping you crush your goals and leave a little bit more inspired.
Join us for the Mizell Show.
Right now.
Hello.
What up, what up, what up?
So it's our very first podcast.
Podcast, Mizell Show.
The Mizell Show.
The Mizell Show, episode 1. Uno.
Or is it 0? Are we going to count 0 like we're French?
No, this is the first one.
So I'm Alanna Mizell, and this is Steven Mizell.
This is Steven Mizell.
This guy.
The other half of the
better
Mizell
half.
Show. Better half is very
Depends
questionable.
on the day. We have been married for just over 7 years. Well, I guess 7.5 right now.
7.5.
We have 2 beautiful babies.
2 babies.
Beautiful biracial babies. A little girl.
How do you never told the group that you're biracial? So how they what does biracial mean? Like
Alana's white.
There we
Stephen B. Black.
Yes, Stephen B. Oh my God, Stephen B. Black. Stephen is black.
Stephen is black.
Yeah.
So our babies are mixed.
Yeah.
And that's a big part of us. We have a little girl that is 4.5 going on 14.
Yes, Adele Marie. She is if you have a girl first, you kind of set yourself up for failure.
Yeah, you do.
Because she is just sweethearted, caring. Even though lately she's she's sassy. She's sassy and
sassy.
She actually puts up with Briggs a lot more than I thought she would.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So Briggs is our son. He'll be 2 in November.
Yes.
And he's a bull in a china shop.
He is a bull, no fear. The whole thing of frontal cortex of not knowing fear, he has none of it.
None of it.
And you just see it unfold in front of you. Are you going to jump off? Yep, you're going to jump off that. That's Briggs for you. But he's a boy. And that's why I say you set yourself up a failure, because you have Adele in one hand, then Briggs is completely different.
Yeah.
And they are just. Yeah.
There's something.
Keep us busy.
We live in Memphis, Tennessee, but I am originally from the great state of New Hampshire.
I make facial expressions people can actually see what my face looks like. It's no studio camera. But yeah, the great state of New Hampshire, live free or die, a.k.a. no seatbelts needed.
No helmets if you're on a motorcycle.
You can just do your own thing. Do they even believe in masks in New Hampshire? Probably not.
They do, because they're soup's liberal.
They're super liberal, okay.
Right.
But they're so free.
But you either live free or die.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't live there anymore. And Stephen is from Memphis.
I am from Memphis. Born and raised, took a step away for a few years, came back. But yeah, from Memphis.
But always in Tennessee, really. Well, no, you did a stint in New York.
Did a little stint in New York. Didn't work out. It was good. I enjoyed it up there, but
just wasn't where your calling.
It wasn't what my calling was
at the time.
And clearly, my calling was to come back to Memphis and meet my bride. But
of course,
we'll talk about that at a later time.
Yes.
But no, yeah, I'm from Memphis. Alana's from Keene, New Hampshire, and we're currently living in Memphis. And quick soapbox, we live in Memphis proper, not the outskirts. we're in Memphis. Our zip code. I'm not gonna tell you our zip code, but our zip code.
Knocking at the door.
Exactly. Our zip code is Memphis, and we are here. Coming live from Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
so that's who we are.
Yeah.
But we aren't just podcasters.
No. As you can tell, we just said episode 1. So clearly, this is not
fresh out the gate.
Fresh out the gate. This is not we're going to start a new podcast. No, this is our first podcast. This is it. But yeah, we have actually other lives or work lives, careers.
Our daily hustle.
Our daily hustle. I like that. Let's do that. So, when we have people, let's say, what's your daily hustle? I think that's
That's what we're going to say.
Yeah. What's your daily hustle? You going to write that down?
We're going to write that down. Yeah.
What's your daily hustle?
What's your daily hustle, Steve?
I'm asking you your daily hustle first.
Okay. So, my daily hustle is I'm a beauty educator with Mascara Beauty.
What?
I've been doing that for 3 years. And we'll go more into our stories on different episodes, but that's what I do.
It's called a teaser. We're going to have...
You got to listen to the others.
Listen to others, yeah.
But I currently manage a team of over 120 plus that has more than tripled in 2020, which is a huge blessing with how crazy. I feel like 2020 is a swear word at this point.
2020 is a very difficult word to say. But yeah, mascara, look at you, 120 women from across the country.
Across the country.
There we go.
Yeah. So that's what
daily
I do.
hustle.
I teach people how to apply makeup in an efficient manner, but also how to use makeup for confidence and not covering up. So that's... You guys will hear more about that. You'll kind of see that woven into who we are as people, both Steven and I, but more so me as a woman, and just kind of how women tend to want to hide behind who everybody else thinks that they should be.
Yeah, and that company, which you guys are founded and rooted on, it has that great principles. And I think, we'll let people learn more about you a little bit later. But no, I think your daily hustle is something beautiful, something that is very inspiring. It's a great daily hustle. I guess you could say that.
Aren't you cute?
Well, I try.
So what is your daily hustle?
My
Steven
daily
Mizell?
hustle is I'm the director of player relations for the University of Memphis football program.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. Head coach Ryan Silverfield. My job is every day it's something different. But it keeps me very, I don't know, I guess you'd say on my toes. So if you say what's a director of player relations do, every school has their own kind of title, and we'll, of course, dig in a little bit deeper. But overall, I basically help with everything off the field, from networking, internships, relationship building, housing. I work as kind of a liaison with our athletic academic support staff. And it's something to help these guys navigate these college years outside of football. I don't do X's and O's. I am not a coach.
X's and O's means plays.
Yeah, I don't call
For all
plays.
the ladies listening.
I don't justify playing time. I just help these guys with everything off the field. And it's been a journey.
Internships, community relations,
Community
academics,
service, volunteer hours,
mental health.
Huge
Right now.
It's huge. Housing is huge.
It's always huge. Sorry, it's mental health is always huge.
It's always huge.
It's very predominant.
I think it's very predominant.
Right now.
Right now it's very predominant with COVID and some people still quarantine. But no, it's been very very interesting. But I've been in this role for roughly about 2 years now. I was hired by the former Memphis head coach, Mike Norvell, and Coach Silverfield, after Coach Norvell left, was gracious enough to keep me on. So yeah, that's my daily hustle. It's exciting. It's fun. I also have a daily side hustle. I sell a real estate. Me and Alanna, I had the license, but Alanna really helps me dab in real estate. And just, it's something that we're able to do with good colleagues, close friends, with it being something we're both passionate about. We're very particular about who we work with, because at the end of the day, you'll hear this in probably one of our many episodes. Time is money. And we have to make sure that we feel that we can give the consumer what they need. And we also need to make sure that we can provide, and it's not taken away from our treasured family time or taken away from either of our daily hustles. So,
Right. And you'll hear us say a lot.
A lot.
How much are you worth?
Did you know that I sell makeup? Not only do I sell makeup, but the makeup that I sell is 3D makeup, which allows you to highlight and contour your face in a super simple compact. As a mom, I could not survive without my simplified routine. Not only that, but it's exactly what you need. Exactly when you need it, all in one spot. Go ahead and check out Alanna Mizell on Instagram or alannamizell.com to learn more.
We keep that in mind as we do different things, even this podcast. We feel like we've got a huge void where there's a lack of empowerment, specifically with married couples both feeling like they can achieve something and maintain their marriage.
Yeah, and I think that's something why we dove into this. We told you guys a little bit about, who we are and what we do, but we kind of want to park it in a little bit in the why piece. The why is extremely important. In this swear word of 2020, it really could punch you in the face, your why, because some people lost their understanding of their why. Some people had to take a step back, like intentionally, because of the way the economy's been shaped about why. And a person that we really highly think of, and we'll give numerous shots out in this podcast, Simon Sinek. He's famous for saying, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do
it.
You have to know why. And, as we took the step back, this podcast was something that we just didn't wake up and say, let's do it. It all kind of started with Alanna's career, and then also her pushing me. She's like, we have a voice and you have so many platforms, so use it. So we started by doing Instagram lives.
Instagram and Facebook lives.
Yeah, Instagram, Facebook lives.
So for my business, I do lives constantly. I teach live. And so podcasting is a bit different because I don't have to have my makeup on. I don't have to have my hair done. I could be in my jammies. I can do whatever I want. But
she can make facial expressions that you guys cannot see.
That's great. Yeah. It's so good. But I love going live. I love teaching. And so a part of that, people love to see Steven and hear his voice. And he also does snippet motivational videos on his Instagram. So as we can...
I'm going to say this. Alanna is the social media guru. She's the one that pushed me, hey, you need to be doing... I guess I could do this. And so she's the one that challenged me to do those things.
You're sweet.
I mean, it's honest. To be a...
That is true. I did say that. But...
I'm going to put Alanna in the credits.
The credits. Scrolling at the end. You should have that on your 1 minute scroll.
Yes.
The last couple seconds.
Alanna Mizell. Produced and edited and story by Alanna Mizell. I think you're right. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, we just started doing it. You're right.
Yeah. So we just started doing it. Kind of one of the biggest things that happened was after our second child, we needed something as an outreach sort of thing. And that's kind of what happened. And so through our lives during COVID and quarantine and things like that, a bunch of people kept saying, why don't you guys do a podcast? And we're like, no. And then one day we're on a live and Steven goes, hey, what do you guys think about us doing a podcast? And of course everybody freaks out. And I was like, well, I guess we're going to do a podcast.
Yeah. I mean, we just kind of, it's one of those things where it's something that we truly enjoy. We're very passionate, and we give whatever percentage you want to say, 110 to our daily hustle. But also you have that inkling of your passion and calling to do a little bit more. And, Alanna oversees 120 plus, women across the country. Our football roster has 117 guys, not including the staff and other support staff and all those and coaches. But, for us to be able to reach out to the masses even more with a podcast, and then we saw the success from our lives, it was just something like, hey, let's just try this.
Yeah.
And
so obviously we love people.
We love people.
We love people.
But we are firm believers also of God puts you in situations, and sometimes you don't really know, but you have to move your feet while you're doing things. And we felt like He's calling us to do this. Now, we don't know what this podcast is going to bring, but He's telling us to go. And so we're moving our feet, and we're gracious that you guys are going to be alongside with us as we move our feet with this. But, I think Alanna really hit it on the head. As I said, we saw a void. You see, it's a lot of podcasts out there.
There are. But even I'm a research person, even doing research within the podcast area or public speaking area, there are very few married couples. And there are even less interracial married couples, especially in a day and age where race is such a hot topic.
And I think the race part actually kind of hits on the head of what pushed us even more. People saw, me doing my lives, they saw Alanna doing her lives, but they saw a different dynamic. We both did it, and we actually got a chance to present on one of your mentor co-workers page.
Yeah.
What do you call her?
Yeah.
Amanda Hill. She reached out to us and asked us both to do a very impactful, empowering diversity.
No reins.
Yeah, no reins.
She just kind of said, hey, talk about love and diversity.
Yeah.
We're like, all right.
And it was was empowering
awesome.
for her group, but also it's empowering for us to be asked to do those things. So as we continue to come together, we realize that there's something out there. And I think another reason we really enjoy doing this, because when I met Alanna, you kind of go through that cynical cycle of, oh, you are together, then you get married. And so then you go through 15 million weddings. And then you go to 15 million baby showers. And it's like, all right, what happens to your friend group then? You're not going to weddings. You're not going to baby showers. It's like, you just see those couples just go work and die. I hate to sound morbid, but we were seeing that a lot of our friends, they have one or two, maybe both of them are just kind of going through the mundane life cycle. And we're like, hey, what if we can insert some inspiration into them to push them to try something else instead of just get married and just kind of just go through the motions.
There's so many people in our lives that we see more in them than they realize they have in themselves.
Exactly.
And they've gotten so used to their daily life that they're forgetting that they're a person too.
Yeah.
That's just so important. And it's also so important for us as parents to have kids that realize that we have dreams too. And you tell your kids all the time, what do you want to be when you grow up? Isn't that the phrase?
Yeah, that's the phrase.
And they're like, I don't know. Adele says she wants to be an EMT.
But the key is the kids, they shoot their shots. They have no fear. They tell you.
And then at some point, as humans, we stop shooting our shots and we get complacent. And then we try to inspire our kids, but why are we not leading the forefront for our kids?
Yeah, because your kids will see it, and then they will see mom is home or dad leaves. He wakes up, reads the paper, or does whatever he does, and then comes home. He has to read the paper. How old are we? Gee whiz! What's a newspaper?
Somebody gets a news.
Exactly.
Listens to the Mizell Show podcast.
Listen to podcasts. But it's like they go through the everyday cycle, and if they don't see you striving or trying something, they're going to think that's life.
Yeah.
And what kind of picture are you painting for your kids? And we just see, like you said, different couples or different friend groups. We're like, hey, we saw them all the time at all the weddings, and we see them at the baby showers, and now it's like you never see them. You just wonder if this podcast could be an inspiration to them to listen to or do something together could really maybe help them out, because you gotta walk alongside. I mean, I'm not sounding cheesy, and this is just episode 1, so you better get used to it. But I'm a firm believer that you have a partner. They're supposed to push you and make you better. They're supposed to make you feel uncomfortable. Alana made me feel uncomfortable by doing the lives she told me that I should do, and I slack off. She tells me to get back on it. Mm-hmm. And just like for me with her, I'd push her to have the uncomfortable conversation with some of her girls, and make them, see what value she can bring. That's not just what they might see on the surface, but at the end of the day, I don't think I could give you an exact why, but I know that this is something we're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. We have so much passion for helping other people out, and we're doing this to do it.
Yeah, definitely. We're so, so, so grateful for. It's just amazing, the outpouring of love and support that we've already gotten, and this is episode 1, just to be able to get it off the ground. But if you guys are loving what you're hearing, put down a review for us. We would love it. If there's a specific topic that you want us to touch on, write it in there. You can also send an email to themizellshow@gmail.com if you don't want the whole world to know about it on whatever podcast format you're listening from. But we really do want to hear from you guys, and reviews, and screenshot this podcast, share it on your story, let other people know if it's something that you're interested in. We've got so much more in store, pages and pages and pages of ideas that we cannot wait to bring to you guys. So thank you guys so much.
Mizell Show, thank you for tuning in. Have a good one.
Are you loving the Mizell Show? Well, we love you all. And did you know that you can have me and Steven talk to your team or a group of 25 of your friends? All it takes is 25 people showing up on either a Zoom call, a Facebook Live, or really anywhere. Hopefully in person sooner rather than later. But
how do you get us? So all you have to do is email themizellshow@gmail.com, or you can direct message us on Instagram @themizellshow.